This is Explore This. It is a weekly series where I will sit down with University of Arizona subject matter experts to discuss ideas and tips that relate to the many dimensions of your well-being. Today, I'm privileged to have two guests with me. I have Jim Krumpos, who is the Associate Athletic Director of Sports Performance, and Rob Harris, who is the Director of Olympic Sports Performance. So, good morning, Jim and Rob. How are you guys doing?
Morning, guys.
Morning, doing great.
Anyway, we unfortunately don't have Rob's video right here with us, but we're going to roll with it. Maybe he's making faces at us the whole time. If he pops on, we'll roll with that. So
I promise you I'm not.
I want to just remind everybody here that any questions that anybody has during this, you can email them to lifework@email.arizona.edu or lifework@arizona.edu. I will also drop that in the chat here in a minute. But I just want to roll into this so we can have the opportunity to learn from our awesome guests here. So first question here for both of you guys taking a stab at this. We're all at home. A lot of us, we're not able to go to the gym, but we have some beautiful weather outside and things that we can do. What are your go-to cardiovascular exercises that can take place inside a house or outside of a house?
Great. I'll go ahead and start, Chad. I appreciate that. I think that's going to depend on your fitness level a little bit, right? I think that, if you're really going to be, if you're in a position where you're really inside your house, even just moving in place, and if you're at a kind of a lower fitness level, just even doing some like high knees, just kind of jogging, moving in place. You could also add, some of the basic things like jumping jacks in there. And for me, I like to incorporate, if possible, jumping rope. If you have access to jump rope, it's another great one. If you have access to stairs, if you have some stairs in your house, just doing like a fast step up where you get a foot on the stair, put the other foot up, then bring them back down and going back up. Those are all really good ones. If you're really fit and you're at a little bit, like I said, a little bit higher level of fitness, burpees is always a good one too. I mean, you do 10, 15 of those where you get down and do a push-up and then get on your feet and jump and do those continuously. You don't need a lot of reps to get your heart rate up really good. And then I think, honestly, like if you can get outside, sprinting is always a really great one. That's going to get your hormone levels up. That's going to, burn a lot of calories. And we talk about it all the time in athletics. Sprinters actually have very low body fats and high muscle mass.
Awesome. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, I think just to follow along with what Coach Krumpos just said, take those basic exercises and just add, we call them tweaks, but make everything three-dimensional, as much as possible. So if you imagine yourself standing on a clock and you're looking down and you're basically the middle of the clock and you have 12 o'clock, 6, 3, 9, all the numbers, just imagine that and take a simple jumping jack or a push-up or a squat, change your foot position, your hand position, and put them on one of those points on the clock, and you can make any exercise. You can have thousands and thousands of variations along just basic exercises. So if you turn just things that you normally know how to do and you've done, and you want to add some excitement to it or challenge to it and different response that the body will get, make it three-dimensional.
Awesome. Great advice, and I've shared with a lot of my coworkers, and many have been on this before. I've got a 5-year-old, so that's my cardiovascular, just chasing him down and trying to do that. So if you got kids, you already got a cardiovascular partner there for you. So moving on then, we've talked about cardiovascular, really getting that heart rate up. But, many of us really like to do that strength training type of exercise, really focus, making sure we're still working on those muscles, making sure our core is strong. What are some of your go-to strength training exercises that can be done with little or no equipment?
Great question. So, I think it's important to remember the body it recognizes resistance. And that resistance could be in the water swimming. That resistance could be an external resistance like a dumbbell or a barbell, or it can be your body weight. So, just your body weight is sufficient enough to do a lot of different strength training exercises. I think a lot of us right now are going like, I don't have access to the traditional gym. How can I get stronger? You can still get stronger with just your body weight. If you look at gymnasts, you know, they're some of the strongest, leanest people around, and they're explosive, and they're basically using their body weight all day long, right? They're not doing a ton of stuff, even here at University of Arizona, with external resistance. So I think, you know, with that being in mind, you know, the basic stuff works. Lunges, any type of lunge variation, squats, squat variations, push-up variations, dips, pull-ups, inverted rows. Those are all great exercises that, you know, are compound movements. They're multi-joint movements. And if you do them, you can get stronger.
Awesome. Rob, what do you think?
Yeah, exactly. I'm glad you're going before me, Jim, because you're taking all the good. You know, exactly what he just said. To me, and I've been asked this question multiple times, like, what if I could have one exercise, what would it be? It would be a lunge, you know. And again, I would take that lunge and I would add different drivers, which are parts of the arms and my head and eyes, and take that lunge pattern and turn it into something that you could do millions of exercises with. But if you think about it, along the lines what Coach Jim was saying, we have 4 things that are given to us for free, no matter where we are, unless we're in the moon: gravity, ground reaction, which is into the ground, and then the ground pushes us off; the mass of our bodies; and momentum. Right? Those are physical principles that that we have in life that are given to us for free. We don't need a squat rack. We don't need a gym or a coach. And so you can take any exercise, like for example, what he said, or the lunge pattern, and you take gravity, ground reaction, mass, and momentum, those 4 things, and you can challenge that pattern into, like I said, millions of different exercises.
Awesome. You know, those are great points. And, you know, it kind of makes me think, and we've been talking about, you know, we've talked about some specific cardiovascular, specific strength training type of things, but, you know, what is your go-to workout that could be done in like a 15, 20-minute time span? Again, with that little or no equipment, knowing that many of us, our routines have changed a little bit. So, yeah, what's your go-to workout?
Yeah, so I think it's important to think about, you know, all the principles we've kind of laid out as you're thinking about this go-to workout. So, and I think adding, you know, really compound movements, major joint movements, things that are going to burn a lot of calories if you're talking about 20 minutes. So you want to be very efficient, right? We're not going to do a bunch of tricep kickbacks. We're going to try to get the heart rate up very quickly. So, and get hormone levels up really quickly. So I like to do a combination of a squat movement or a lunge movement, a lower body movement. And I'll combine that with the upper body movement. So maybe a push or a pull, and then some type of core movement that you might want to do. And then I'll combine that with a metabolic type of movement. So example would be like a lunge with a push-up, with maybe a reverse crunch, and then maybe a jumping jack. You know, and I'll go through 3 to 4 different of those series, and I'll do those for time, or maybe I'll just do those for reps and try and improve my reps every week as I go about doing those.
Awesome. Anything out of that, Rob?
Yeah, so I started doing a neighborhood group workout on the weekends, and we obviously follow all social distancing guidelines, but we'll go outside, and it's all adults and a couple kids. Number one thing is to have fun. So we're having fun, we're laughing, and I will take things like a gallop, a skip, a run, a jog, any kind of movement pattern like that. Again, making it 3-dimensional, and we will have a blast. And so we'll do those things. We will add the push-ups and the squats and the burpees and things like that, and lunges, and of course make those 3-dimensional. But we're just taking fundamental movement patterns and just having a blast with them. And so in a 20, 30-minute time frame, we can pretty much hit every joint in the body, every energy system that we want to, every muscle, and we're laughing and giggling and having a great old time, and it's a great workout. So I think just going back and kind of reiterating everything we're saying is, if you just think of simple movements that you already know, you know how to walk, you know how to jog, you know how to skip, gallop, basic things, you know how to do a push-up, squat, and you just tweak it a little bit and have some fun with it and get creative, the possibilities are limitless.
Awesome. And then, you know, I think about, a lot of things that we have going on, and you've shared so many awesome workouts, and I've shared with everybody in the chat there. Jim has been really awesome and put together 6 weeks worth of workouts that you can do about 4 days a week. That we've linked to our YouTube channel that you can go through and you can participate in those. And so make sure to follow those, because there's a lot of really great content that we can look at on that. Rob, I want to jump back a little bit to one of your comments. You were talking about the 4 principles. There was gravity, movement. Could you remind those again to the audience? I had a couple questions on those.
Yeah. So think gravity, ground reaction, which when we land on the ground reacts in a way and pushes us back up. So gravity, ground reaction, mass of the body, and the momentum. So as we're moving forward, that mass is moving and it's creating momentum or taking advantage of momentum. So gravity, ground reaction, mass, momentum.
Awesome. Thank you for that.
Yep.
Yeah. So, again, routines are a little bit different for everybody. And as we kind of look at this, in your professional opinions, as you think about exercise, morning, afternoon, night, what's best?
Yeah, so I mean, a lot of the research shows that 3 to 11 hours after you wake up is the optimal time to allow for some fueling and for some spinal hydration and those type of things. But I think for most of us, and this is the one the messages we're giving to our athletes right now is get up and attack the morning, right, and make it part of your routine. Get up and get moving in the morning, get your workout done. And what that also does is it burns calories throughout the day. And it allows us to usually go to bed. A lot of times when we go really late in the evening, then people have trouble falling asleep and that kind of thing. So I think, my recommendation would be for the morning. You get the most metabolic response for the rest of the day. You start your day well. You have a great outlook on the day. You have that sense of accomplishment during the day. Just make sure that you warm up properly, stretch and hydrate properly before you do that.
Awesome. I think, Rob?
Yeah, I think I pretty much nailed it. And I think the other thing to add is just kind of what do you prefer? If you're not a morning person and you don't enjoy working out in the morning or exercising, then do it in the afternoon. I do like the attack the morning thing. That's been a theme we're trying to get across to our athletes, where that being successful or productive in the morning helps really set up the rest of the day. And for me, it allows me the freedom in the afternoon to kind of chill out. And maybe I do want to do some stuff around the house or just kind of lay around a little bit. But I know I got everything done in the morning, so it kind of frees up my afternoon and evenings a little bit.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for sharing that. In the last kind of like 60 seconds that we have, question that I ask all of my interviewees is, what is something that you are doing right now to focus on your health, and any last second tips that you want to provide for our viewers today?
For me, I went back and I'm looking at my steps, and I went back to pre-COVID and looked at my steps during the day. And then I have an Apple Watch, and I looked at my steps during one of my less active days. And to me, that was a really big wake-up call. So I went back and looked at my steps and really set a step goal. So just to keep me moving, to keep me active, because as we're all in these Zoom meetings now for 8 hours a day, we're way less active. And so for me, that's a way that I can look at where I was at before and have a small goal that I can accomplish throughout the day. So what I do is just try to get some steps in the morning, some steps in the middle of the day, and then get some steps going out with my family on a walk at night.
Awesome. And last thoughts, Rob?
For me, it's running. I hate running. I hate running. So I am running. So I'm basically challenging myself, something I don't enjoy doing. I'm just getting out and doing it. And it's funny because the benefits of it are great and I enjoy it and I feel great afterwards. But boy, the thought of running is not enjoyable to me. But I'm just picking one thing a day that can challenge me and try and do that.
Awesome. Well, I want to, thank you again, both, Rob and Jim, for hopping on and sharing this awesome content with our viewers here. And remind everybody again, if you have questions, email us at lifework@arizona.edu. I saw that our email list was shared in the chat as well. So if you want to stay up to date with all the content that we have going on, but we can connect you with both Coach Jim and Coach Rob here and answer any more additional questions that you may have. But again, I want to thank you so much for participating and hope you have a happy, healthy, and well day. And everybody be well. Thank you.